Welcome back to Nicklin It Up. This is the fifth episode, and as you can notice, Big Nigga and no other guests can be seen. It's just me for this episode, and I'm probably not gonna do this as often, but just let me know what you guys think about it, and maybe I'll do more with just me. But I decided I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about me because I am very open on my other YouTube channels and Instagram stuff. I don't really keep too much from you guys. I don't know. I'm pretty just open altogether. So I was thinking I'd open up a little bit more on this episode, tell some childhood stories, and give a little bit of history between me and Big Nigga. Well, obviously he's my dad, but I want to give a little bit more of a story because it's a little bit of an interesting one. So I'm gonna start off with that, and then I'm gonna get into some crazy ass stories from when I was little, because I was fucking a wild ass little kid when I don't know, from like ages 4 to like 13. I was just doing some wild ass shit. But anyway, so I saw my dad until I was at least 3.5 or 4 years old, I would say, and he went to jail for about 4 years. And I didn't. I mean, I think I went a couple times to visit him. I only remember one, but apparently there's more times than just the one. And after those 4 years, he got out and he tried to, see me. And my mom wouldn't let him, so just continuously, he was trying to get a lawyer and all that stuff and try to get me. And but I had no idea any of this was going on. I just didn't really question it much. I just thought, my dad's gone, whatever. I guess that's my life now. I wasn't upset about it. I wasn't really too confused. I mean, I thought about him every once in a while because I had a few memories still floating around, but it had just been so long since I had seen him that it slowly just started to forget more and more. And then eventually, um, when I was 13, I saw him for the first time in I don't know how many years, a long time. You guys do the math. And it was a little bit of an awkward experience because he had to go through the courts and all that to get me in. So we had to do a supervised visit. I just didn't go over to his house the first time. And it was a little awkward. We met at like this church thing, which I don't like church. For those of you that don't know me that well, I'm against it. But that's not about that. But anyway, so when we talked a little bit, it was like a little bit before my birthday. And next time I saw him, we went to this laser tag place in Belden Village. And for those of you that don't know, it's like kind of right by Canton and North Canton in Ohio. For all of our other listeners from countries, and they're not countries, I guess states, or maybe countries too. Whoever's listening, but yeah. So I kind of just did those supervised visits for a while, and then eventually we had unsupervised visits where no one else was around. It's just me and him, and he'd pick me up at my grandma's house, and I think we would hang out for about 4 hours at a time. I think it was only like once a week, and this is about 2 years ago when we were doing this, so I haven't even known him that long. And so yeah, we were doing that, and eventually I started going over to his house just for like a night, just to spend the night for a night, and I'd go right back over to my house in North Canton. And eventually, we started doing. I'd go for the whole weekend, so I'd go on Friday, and I would stay the whole day Saturday, and I'd go home at 6 o'clock on Sunday. And that's kind of still how it is now. Like, I mean, occasionally I'll go there for like 4 days, or maybe I'll go there for like a whole week or something. It's kind of different. Like, especially over summer, I've seen them a little bit more than I usually do. But for most of the time when I'm in school or whatever, it's only just like every other weekend, pretty much, other than like holidays, and that's about it. And we have a pretty solid relationship. I think we don't have a normal father-son relationship. He don't take me to like sports and all that bullshit, which I don't like sports anyway, so I wouldn't be happy with that. And I sure as hell don't like fishing or any of that other shit, but he does. So, but we're not a normal father-son relationship, I guess. I mean, it's something all right, but it ain't nothing normal. I'll tell you that. But we do get along for the most part. You can tell he gets a little frustrated with me because I can be very fucking annoying, and most of the time, a little bit on purpose, just because I like to fuck with people. But yeah, we get along pretty well. And then I got a little brother, Bryson. He's a little asshole. I guess I love him or something like that. I don't know. I mean, if you love someone, you don't have to like them. So I guess I love him because he's my family, but don't really like having around too much. He's kind of annoying as hell. But he can be okay at times. And now I'm gonna move on to some like juicy stories. I got some crazy stuff. So one of my earliest craziest memories I can think of is one time there was this. I was at these apartments in Jackson, and this one lady or whatever, I don't know, this one weird ass lady, but she threw all of her stuff out like in her yard, and there was a like this weird witch costume in there, and I took it and on my house, and I took off all my clothes other than just my underwear, and I put on a witch costume, and I had a girlfriend at the time. Because I mean, this was when I was really, really, really little. I was like, no, yeah, I was in kindergarten. I did 2 years of kindergarten because I failed my first year. So it was my first year of kindergarten. It's about 5 or 6, I'd say. And yeah, so I just walked down there all by myself, and I don't know if she said anything about the costume. I can't remember too much about it, but all I remember is my little pervy ass pulled up the fucking thing and showed her my underwear, and then the bitch fucking screamed. So like and I just ran back to my house and told my brother what happened, and then he still hasn't let it go to this day and still mentions it all the time. But whatever. But yeah, that was pretty fucking weird. Most of my experiences at that apartment were pretty weird. I had this one cat there, and this lady took it, and like she tried to say that like that she had that cat for years. And I was a little kid, so I didn't even try to fight her on it. But it was like, bitch stole my cat. That's fucking retarded. So I always let that go. And then another time, I have like this baby blanket. I still have it. I don't really. When I was little, I used to carry it around everywhere I went. And one time it got like caught in someone's bicycle chain, and I was like fucking pissed about that. And another time, this kid like smashed a Rubik's cube on my head, and it fucking just splattered everywhere. I don't know. That was about some of the only memories I got from there, but ain't none of them are really that interesting. But it's just good memories for me. Not all of them. Some of them are pretty bad. Some of them are pretty good. And I don't know. When I was little, I didn't have a lot of money at all. Like by no means, it's kind of broke. But we still, I mean, didn't go a day without eating or nothing. I always had food, and it's just my mom and my brother for the longest time. And then eventually we had my little sister Gabby, and that was one shit. I think we had her when I was in like second grade. It's not exactly sure how old I was. I think I was like about 9, maybe 8, Maybe I was less than that. I have no idea. Who knows? And then I moved to these other apartments, and they were in Canton, and I had a lot of fun there. There's some crazy ass things happen. One time I went to like this little forest area, and then the bitch was just like in flames. So I like ran around to everyone's door, like knocking on the door, trying to get their attention, and then I got a whole bunch of people's like hoses and stuff, and try to put out the best of my ability to the which it didn't do shit at all, but in my little kid mind, I thought that would do something. And another memory I have one friend, I forget his name, but he's black. So we're just gonna call him Jamal for the sake of this. And he found a porno mag or something. It was like a black and white Playboy in his dad's room, and we were looking through that like just out in the open. His one girl walked by and she said, "You guys are sick," and just kept walking. Like whatever, bitch. But yeah, it was the first time I ever saw anyone Nick was in that. And then I had this fat ass girlfriend. I forget her name, but she's like my neighbor. I think she was like a year younger than me, something like that. But we wanted to have sex or whatever. But at the time, this was when I was in second grade. I found out what sex was like 2 months after we were talking about it. But what I thought sex was just you get naked and roll around, and I was so wrong. And eventually, my brother told me what it was, and I was like, that don't make no sense. Because I didn't think you're supposed to put your dick inside of a girl. I didn't put any of that together. Because when you're little, your dick doesn't really get hard like that. So, or at least mine did. I don't know. It didn't start getting like really like hard until I was like in like fourth grade. So, I don't know. But so yeah, that was a bit of a revelation. And then that started my sex addiction from there. And it never ended up happening, but it's whatever. And then was another time I was on a bike, and then I don't know why, but my dumb ass thought I could do this. But there was just like a football on the road, and I was on my bike, and I thought I could just go and run that bitch over. And yeah, tire hit that bitch, and I fucking flipped and smacked on the ground. All these people are watching and kind of laughing at me a little bit. That was embarrassing as fuck. And I got pretty fucked up. My arm was all like scratched up. It looked like I was missing half my skin. Looked like fucking Freddy Krueger. And then another time, me, my brother, and his friend Kevin, we were all like wrestling or whatever, and then like one of them took off their belt and like whipped me in my neck. And I was fucking off. I like knocked the wind out of me. I couldn't breathe for shit. And then another time, I was just walking casually, and I got shot by a BB gun, just like right, like kind of like where your knuckles are, like right in between there. And I hurt like a motherfucker, especially since I was that little. It hurt a lot more. And yeah, I think that was Kevin too that did that. So it was rough when I was little. And then there was this other kid named Travis too, and I ran up on him and I started like just wailing on him for no fucking reason, just no fucking reason. I don't know. I was just like, fuck this nigga. So we started scrapping or whatever, and then he like knocked on my tooth teeth. I don't know. He like one of my tooths. I don't know. Whatever. He knocked one of my toothes. I don't know. Loose, and started like fucking. Just had like blood running down me. Looked like I got in a serious fight, but it's just some little dumbass fight. It's fucking retarded. I don't know. So, these stories probably ain't that interesting to you, but they're a little interesting to me. And kind of just like walking back, thinking of all the crazy shit I've done. And then also, I'm gonna go back to when I was in the Jackson apartments. There's just some of the stuff that I'm just remembering now that I'm talking. Um, One time, like my mom had these Jello shots, in the fridge or whatever. And I went in there and I tried to take them, but my mom like started yelling at me. I didn't understand why. And I thought she was just being an asshole. I was like, what the fuck? I just want some fucking Jello. What the fuck's good? And didn't know what idea what the fuck that was. But when I grew up, I realized I was like, oh, that's what the fuck that was. And then another time, we got like McDonald's or whatever, and I was just sitting there on the floor taking my shoes off, and then I looked down and there's just a pile of fucking, or not, like a puddle of fucking piss all around me. And I don't remember peeing or nothing. There's just a big pile of piss around me. I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then another time I was at this buffet and I was just like getting my shit on my plate or whatever, and I just straight fucking just pissed myself right fucking there. And I didn't tell no one about it. I just left the pee there, so someone fucking found it. And I just sat there in the seat with my family, and I was all fucking wet, and none of them knew. And the second I got home, I ran upstairs and changed. I don't know how none of them noticed. I smelled like straight piss, but whatever. I don't know. Are any of these stories interesting? I'm only like 16 fucking minutes into this, and I already told quite a few stories. I mean, I got some other ones. There was another time where me, my mom, my brother, and my little sister were living at my mom's friend's Danny's house in Canton. Yeah, it was in Canton. And shit, I'm trying to think. Oh, he always had like change in his room or whatever, and I would always steal like just like he had like a lot of it, so I'd always like stick in my pockets and like I'd hide it in my room. And I never bought anything with it, so I was just stealing change for like no fucking reason. So I don't know. It's interesting. And my mom like beat the shit out of me one time for it. And then another time we were at Walmart. This happened like 2 or 3 times actually. Like, we were broke, so we didn't have a lot of money, so we were very cheap. And I wanted candy or whatever. My mom wasn't budging on the candy, so um, I just stole it. Like, this happened 3 times, and I got home. And the first time I showed my brother, and then he was mad because I had candy and he didn't, so was a little bitch and ratted me out to my mom. It was that little hoe ass nigga. And then she beat the shit out of me, made me do like the dishes for the first time as punishment, and now I'm still doing dishes as punishment. So that's some fucking bullshit. And another time I stole a push pop, and I was like trying to eat it because it was dark out. So like when we were driving back, I was trying to like eat it in the back of the car without anyone noticing, like a dumbass. And then she noticed I had it, and she instantly knew what I did, and then she's like just started like smacking the shit out of me. We're not like really smacking, but just like kind of, I don't know, roughing me up a little bit from like the driver's seat, just like sticking her hand back there and like hitting me a little bit. It wasn't like anything like aggressive, and like, no reason called Child Protective Services, but she had to teach me a lesson, I guess. It really didn't teach me a lesson because I stole again. And this time she wasn't that mad at me because she was a little bit used to it by then. So she just had me go back there, and I had to walk up to a lady and told one of the cashiers or whatever and told them what I did, and I had to give it back. So I don't know. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was kind of embarrassing, especially when you're little. And I say I was sorry, but I was like, bitch, I ain't sorry. I was like, the fuck? I stole for a reason. I ain't sorry about it. Whatever. Sorry, that probably pretty loud. But anyway, what are stories I got for you guys? You hear that? Sound like ASMR. But anyway, I guess I don't know. I don't know. So I guess now I can talk about. I got some of my childhood stuff out of the way. I can talk about some of like my more later stuff that's been going on like the last 2 years. So for those of you that haven't been following me from the beginning, which I'm sure most of you haven't, I'm sure most of the people that were following me from the beginning already dropped off. I think I have like 1 or 2 people that are still riding with me from when I first started. But when I first originally started making music, I was in like seventh grade. I wanted to make music or whatever, but I had no idea how to. I didn't know how to edit. I had no idea. I didn't know how to make instrumentals or any of that. But at the time, I didn't want to be a rapper. I wanted to be a rock and roll musician like Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie or just like anyone like that. I just wanted to be a rock and roll musician. And I had a song I started kind of like writing. It's called Boogeyman. And I like made a recording of me singing it or whatever, and I posted on YouTube, but it had like no instrumental over it. And people are telling me it was good, but probably just to make me feel good. But this thing was fucking ass. I wish I still had the video, but that thing was like long gone. I haven't seen that shit in years. But so yeah, that was in seventh grade, and then about eighth grade, I met someone that was kind of special to me, but stabbed me in the back later. His name was Ashton, and we started talking about music and stuff, and we're just I don't know, kind of talking about it, just kind of bullshitting. And then we said maybe we could form a band. And we were saying, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And this was in November of 2018. Actually, no, not 2018. This was in November of 2017, and so I started. So I started like trying to make some music. I started recording stuff, and then he told me how to download beats off of YouTube using SafeFrom.net, and I was like, all right, cool. So I started downloading beats, and then I just randomly searched on my phone video editor, and so I just downloaded the beat. I turned it into an audio, and then I recorded a video of me rapping or whatever, which it wasn't good at all. And then I turned that in audio, and I took the two audio files, and then I just slapped them over top of each other, and it was like the most bullshit sounding thing ever. It sounded awful. My first song was called Charm Life, and I made a music video for it. And at the time, it got like a lot of views on YouTube, but the music video got deleted after a couple months. So I reposted it. It got deleted. I reposted it again, and then it got deleted again. And then YouTube deleted my channel, which it was. I have a channel now called Low Pink Productions, but that was like the OG Low Pink Productions that had all my movies and all my music, all my shit. And now all of that's gone. I don't have any of it. Like, I don't have jack shit. I have like my first movie on DVD, but I have no way of getting it off the DVD back to audio, really. And I really don't want to anyway. It's not that great of a movie. It's kind of cringy. But, yeah, so I mean, that kind of sucks. It was like a year and a half of movies and music and just productions, which Loping Productions, those productions and shit, and all my vlogs and all my shit was just gone. Which I mean, is kind of a blessing, kind of not. It was frustrating because I spent so much time putting all that stuff together, but it was kind of a blessing because most of that was just pure ass anyway. But we had all kinds of shit. We had like kind of like just truth or dares and stuff, but like it wasn't. Actually, no. It was like no. It was like we did a whole bunch of like would you rather stuff, but it wasn't just like some little bullshit. We did like some crazy ass shit. I think like one of them was like, would you rather have like someone put like, like those like barbecue tongs or whatever you put like shit on, saying like, would you rather have someone put those under your toenails and fucking kick them in, or would you rather have someone like kind of slice the sides of your penis and then make you jerk off with acid? I know it sounds weird, but I mean, this shit places where my mind goes. So it was just kind of crazy ass shit like that, and we were having a good time doing that. And then we filmed like this one kind of like MTV, like kind of Cribs ripoff thing, and then it kind of turned into like all kinds of other crazy shit with our other member. His name was Little Dollar Signs or Mickey, and he was the third member. So it was me, Ashton, and him, and we were the rap group Charm Gang. I'll get into that a little bit more in a second. But for this little movie that we made, so he was giving a tour of the house which wasn't even his house. It was Ashton's house. But he's going around giving a tour of it, kind of making fun of it a little bit. And then, sorry about that. And then, it kind of transitioned into like an infomercial, and he was telling people how to properly kill themselves. And then it moved to him getting outside, and he was fighting me and Ashton. He's fighting Billy Joel and other thing. I don't know. It was Billy Joel and something. Oh no, it was Billy Joel and Davey from the Navy. And I think I was Davey from the Navy, and then Ashton was Billy Joel, and he was wearing this weird Spider-Man costume, and he like pretended to unzip his mask or whatever, and he was like, "Holy shit, it's Billy Joel!" And then we were at first they went through a portal and they're like in hell fighting and shit, and then I was there as this little weird cave troll monster, and then they went back through the portal, and then they were fighting in Ashton's front yard in the grass, and we probably looked like lunatics, but I filmed that, and then I edited it and put it on YouTube. So I don't know, that was pretty fun. I mean, it's kind of a shame that we ain't really friends anymore, but it's whatever. So now I'm gonna talk about Charm Gang a little bit. So as I was saying a little bit ago, I released my first song, and that was on February 1st when I released Charm Life, and it would be in our album Songs Not Too later on, and that came out on April 1st. It was about 23 songs or so, and they were all ass, and that's a lot of songs for a first album, and none of them are available anymore. We got rid of all of them. I think there's like maybe one or two that are still on SoundCloud, but I think that's about it. And so yeah, and then we released a couple more albums. I would say we had 4 albums. Sorry about my voice cracks on. I'm a little sick, but yeah, we would have about 4 albums in total before Charm Gang split up, and it was because of Ashton's dad actually, and he wasn't really too happy with what we're doing. And Ashton, I guess I don't know, I was being a little bit of an asshole towards him to the end, getting a little bit cocky with how well I was doing, and I was being kind of an asshole to him, and I wasn't really taking him and any of his ideas seriously. I wasn't really considering him as a bandmate, and more of just like shut up and listen to what the fuck I gotta say. That's kind of how I was acting towards him a little bit. So when his dad wanted to separate us from doing the crazy shit that we were doing, he didn't really seem too reluctant to let his dad do that. And I tried to contact him later, and then he told me he didn't want to talk to me or see me anymore. So whatever. And then as we stopped being friends, Mickey kind of just joined along with them, and then we didn't talk anymore. And neither one of them really wanted anything to do with me, really, just because it was causing family drama for them, because their families didn't understand what we were doing, and my family didn't really care what I was doing too much, because it was whatever, I was having fun, so they didn't care. But their families are a little bit more strict and little pussy ass bitches, so it's whatever. And yeah, so, I mean, it's a shame. Charm Gang, I think we didn't even last like a full year. We lasted maybe like in total, when we were going like strong and we were all together, we went like a strong 4 months. I mean, it was longer than that, but I mean, like a strong 4 months with all 3 of us in the band at the same time, cooperating and making music and actually doing well. And I feel like if I would have done a better job, and they would have, and I would have had more of an incentive for them to actually want to make music and work. And I wish we would have, because like now I know how to edit music pretty well, and at the time we didn't know how to edit music that well, so it's kind of shitty. So I feel like if I could bring to the table what I know how to do now, plus just all the shit I'm doing, the podcast, everything, I feel like we could really, really make Charm Gang work. But sadly, that wouldn't happen. But if we were all still friends today, you best believe Charm Gang would be a really big thing. But sadly, Charm Gang is dead, and who's to say it will never come back? But not anytime soon. I would love for Charm Gang to get back together and for just us to do all this shit all over again. Maybe be a little less racist and retarded and just not so stupid. Maybe try to really work on our craft and really develop ourselves and really make something truly special. But I understand what we were doing was kind of awful. So I mean, I did get a lot of learning experience from it though, like a lot. So I am grateful for that. But I really, really, really would like for us to get back together and make it really work. And it's a shame that it had to end like that, but not really a whole lot I can do about it. And who knows, maybe if Charm Gang does come back, I'll make a new Charm Gang with different rappers, and it could be better than it is before. But I'm gonna try to keep Lil Pink Productions alive. I've been doing pretty well on there. The channel's going stronger than it was before. Not as many people from my school are as interested in what I'm doing now as before. Before, I was kind of the topic of discussion, and more people were paying attention to what I was doing, and then eventually, shit gets old. And I stopped because at first I was doing joke rap. I was just saying shit for the sake of saying shit. And then now I'm trying to make music more with a message, and people aren't responding to it as much as that. And then now I'm trying to do like horrorcore rap, and people really aren't digging it all too much. Like they say, like it's good, but like it's not anything like Charm Gang was. Charm Gang was just so ridiculous, so funny, just the craziest shit that you could think of, and obviously edgy kids that aren't developed all the way are gonna think that that shit's fucking hilarious. So that's why we did as well as we did and made as far as we did, and we were doing pretty damn good. I mean, we weren't anything too special. We had like 2,000 Instagram followers. About um, we had 100 subscribers each. I had like 200, and then Ashton had like 110, and then Mickey I think had like 60 at his highest point. So I mean, we weren't doing awful. And then, sorry, I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry. And then on SoundCloud, I think Mickey had about 12 followers, which is not that great. And then I had about, I'd say 300, and then Ashton had about 40, and then Charm Gang had about 300 as well. And I mean, yeah, I mean we were doing good. I mean, that's not as much as I have now independently. Now I got like over 10,000 Instagram followers just on my own, and about I say like 2,000 or so SoundCloud followers and 2 million plays. And back then, the most we had was 25,000 plays before they left. So I mean, we weren't doing awful back then, but definitely doing a lot better now. I mean, we're not. I am. They're just going back to their normal lives, not doing anything. But it's whatever. Not everyone. Yeah, I gotta keep in mind not everyone wants what you want, so just gotta be respectful of that, I guess. But I haven't seen Ashton in a long ass time. But if I ever do, I kind of just want to talk to him and try to apologize. And even if doesn't want to do Charm Gang again or anything, I just want to sit him down and just talk to him and apologize for what happened and just try to at least be just civil with each other. I mean, I guess we're civil with each other now. I mean, we don't talk or anything, but I just want to at least be cool with each other. And he was one of the best friends I ever had. He was supportive and loyal and a very nice person, just all around. And I took advantage of him and everything. Because he was editing my music, he was editing all my stuff, he was doing all my stuff for me. And I would just get on the mic or whatever and say some shit, and he would take care of the rest. And I really didn't know what I had till I lost him. And then I had to figure out how to make music on my own. I mean, I was making music a little bit, like even before him on my own a little bit, but not as good. And I had to figure out another way to make music. So I discovered something called BandLab, and that's how I edit my music now. And it's very good production. And so I kind of learned how to edit music better than he did. I ain't trying to sound like I'm above him or anything, but like I just kind of figured out how to do it better and more of a way that suits my style too. Because it's hard to translate what you want someone to do with your music. You know, like it's hard to translate exactly to them what you want because they can't see inside your head. They don't know exactly what you're talking about. Like they can know like a beat you want or whatever, but like they don't know exactly like the feel that you're going for. So when you're doing it, you're by yourself. It's a lot easier to just have control and all that, and just have more control over your track and be more responsible for your own stuff. And I also figured out how to get on all these streaming platforms and all that. God, I'm really sorry about that. But yeah. So it ain't. I've prospered. I've managed, and I'm doing well. So no point to really dwell on the past too much. But first episode of the podcast, I just really wanted to give you guys a little bit more backstory about me. And with Big Nigga, you'll hear more stories about him in other episodes and stuff. You've heard a little bit about him in the last couple episodes, but yeah, you'll be hearing more about him. So I'm gonna mute the mic for just like 1 second. Just 1 second. All right, we're back, and yeah, so a lot of cool stuff coming. And also with my channel, Low Pain Productions, you should really go subscribe to that. You might not be impressed by the videos there at the moment, but I got some really dope stuff coming, so you really don't want to miss out on it. I got some crazy ass videos planned. I don't want to reveal it yet. I want it to be a surprise, but I got some crazy ass shit. Just the hardest thing is getting someone to film for free, you know. But I don't know if it comes down to it, I guess I'll pay someone, but I really don't want to. But yeah, when it comes down to it, the hardest thing is like getting someone to film and the budget. Cause like I want to remove, because I've lately for my videos I've just been sitting down like how I am for this podcast and just talking about some shit. I don't want to do that. I want to get outside. I want to go places. I want to vlog a little bit more. I ain't gonna be like one of those fucking vlog channels really. I mean I am, but I ain't. I ain't gonna be like run around all energetic being retarded. I'm even run around being retarded. All right, I kind of like contradicting myself on everything I say, but what I mean is I'm not gonna be fake. I'm not gonna do all that shit. I'm gonna change the game a little bit. I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna be just ridiculous, but in a different way. I ain't gonna run around. I ain't gonna prank people. I ain't gonna be loud and obnoxious to just random people like Jake Paul is. And nothing against Jake Paul. I'm just saying like I ain't gonna be like that type of vlogger. I'm just go around and do crazy ass shit. Some of the shit I'm gonna do is ignorant, but ignorant in a different way. Like just crazy ass shit. Like I'll go to fucking Walgreens or something and go in the aisle and just like get the soap, out, like hair soap or whatever, and I'll just like put it in my hair and start fucking just brushing my hair with it and just, like scrub it up dub and like fucking like shriek out some loud ass noise and smear it all over some shit and just fucking run out of there with like little to no clothes on. And Yeah, just like stupid ass shit like that. It'll be funny. It'll be a little bit dangerous to do because, I mean, cops around here don't really play with shit like that, so gonna get caught easily. But, we gotta do it for the content. And, yeah. I mean, because this is stuff I've always wanted to do. I want to get out and have a good time. And this is stuff that I want to do even if the camera wasn't rolling. Because I'm just that kind of person. I'm just that crazy ass person that wants to go out and do crazy ass shit. I don't care. I've done crazy ass shit when the camera's not rolling. I don't care. When the camera's on, I'll do something crazy. When the camera's not on, I'll still do something crazy. Because that's just me. That's me. I like doing crazy ass shit for the entertainment of other people. I'm that person. I ain't really do it all for attention. I'll do crazy ass shit when I'm alone. I don't care. I just like doing stuff like that. It's a bit of an adrenaline rush. It's exciting. It's fun. That's just the kind of person I am. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, don't check it out if you're a bitch and you're gonna just comment, oh, what the hell's wrong with you and stuff like that. I mean, but if you're into fucked up shit and you want to see a crazy ass nigga do some crazy ass shit, then subscribe and you'll be happy and you'll be pleased and no fucking worries there. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that shit and I hope you enjoy the music I'm putting out and I certainly hope you're enjoying this podcast. I mean, not all the episodes are gonna be for everyone. I'm gonna try to be kind of diverse on here. I'm gonna talk about shit like this that I'm talking about right now. There's gonna be stories. We're gonna talk about all kinds of crazy ass shit. I'm gonna try to get like hookers and all kinds of other crazy people on here so we can interview them and just overall have a good time on this podcast. Do some crazy ass shit to get views and shit. I'm just gonna get crazy. I'm just gonna get fucking wild. Cause at the end of the day, we're nickeling it up, bitch. So that's what we're gonna fucking do. And currently, I'm working on getting a studio at my dad's house put together more. And I'm gonna put like kind of like a big ass table like in the corner of one of the rooms of like the studio room. And I'm gonna get more microphones, and I'm gonna get microphone stands, and I'm just kind of like hang them off or something or whatever, like with like the little microphone arms, and it just be like situated right in front of our faces. It'd be like one for me, one for my dad, and then one for the guest, and then I mean, if we got two guests on, I guess we're gonna have to share a microphone. I don't fucking know. But like these Blue Yeti microphones I'm using right now, I mean, this isn't even like a normal podcast mic. The normal ones are like $400 a piece or 300. It depends on where you buy it from. But these are like $100 a piece just for these. Also, depending on where you buy it. I bought this one off of Amazon, so it was 90 when I bought it, but currently it's 120. So if I'm gonna buy two more, I'm gonna probably pay like $200, and then the mic arms, those are about like $20 each. So that's about 60. So there's 260 right fucking there. And then I gotta buy something to plug into my computer so I can get multiple like USB cords in there. And that'll be $10. So it's 170. And then I need a new camera. And the one I'm gonna get, it's not anything too amazing. It's just also a USB camera. It'll just improve the quality a little bit. That's $50 or 60 depending, because it fluctuates on Amazon. So at fucking most, I'm gonna end up paying. I mean, over like shit. I'm slow. I'm sorry. Like $330 at most. And I mean, if like I was a rich ass YouTuber, I mean, that's pocket change. But I ain't a rich ass YouTuber. I mean, I have money. I just like I spend money on other shit. For me, that's a lot of money to spend on my podcast when I got so many other things I'm working on. Like I'm working on my movies and I need thousands of dollars for that. So sparing like $300 on my podcast stuff, that's kind of a lot. And I mean, it's whatever. I mean, improve the quality and hopefully you can get more listeners in and more viewers on YouTube and all that shit. So, I mean, whatever. And also, it'd be greatly appreciated if you guys like just start sharing this shit with everyone you fucking know, because I really want this to get more known. And because I really want Nicklin up to get up there. I know the first episode was kind of started slow. The first episode was pretty fucking funny. The second episode we're slacking a little bit. We picked up a little bit on the third one. Fourth one was all right, and then this one, I know this isn't going to be like a fan favorite ever, but like every podcast is going to have like their down moments. Like look at the H3 podcast. I love that podcast, but they don't always have the most interesting stuff to talk about. They do sometimes, and then they have guests on sometimes, and it's kind of how this is going to be a little bit. It ain't always going to be interesting, but if you guys just walk with me and you like hearing what I got to say, then you guys are gonna like this. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like rambling like a lot. I'm just like talking out my ass here, but I'm just kind of trying to keep this going. I'm just kind of trying to keep spitballing shit out. But I don't know. I really hope you guys do enjoy this shit. And it's gonna get better. Trust me. Like all podcasts get better eventually. Some start off good from the start, and some start off good and get worse, and some start off bad and get better. And I think that's what we're gonna do. We're starting off all right, but I'm thinking once we get better equipment, we start taking notes and shit. I went in here with like the intent that like the first couple stories I told at the beginning we're gonna be able to cover an entire hour of a podcast, but that went like so fucking fast. And then I just keep spitballing and keep talking about shit. And then there was some of the stuff that I talked about in here that I wanted to put in a second episode, but I was running out of shit to say, so I'm just keep spitballing. And it's whatever. I mean, I'm trying to make this like longer than some of the other episodes because I really do hate cutting it short. Because when you go to a podcast, you're expecting to be entertained for a long amount of time, not just like a 30-minute segment, which is like what we have been doing, which that's not a podcast to me. That's more like a really long YouTube video. It's not a podcast. I mean, maybe someone it is, but to me, that's not what that is. So, whatever. But also, I'm really impressed that my computer is able to record for this long, too. It's fucking a miracle. It's a pretty shitty computer. I mean, it's not that shitty. I mean, it's whatever. I like the computer, but just it's a Chromebook, so I was not expecting it to record for this long. Cause when I tried to record a podcast with my phone, but I just tried to do it with my camera. I wasn't trying to do it with like a audio, right? An audio thing or whatever. So like when it gets to 25 minutes, the bitch just shuts off. So, and I tried to do a podcast before. I called it the Pink Room Podcast, which was originally what I was gonna call this, but we came up with Nicklin Up anyway. Because well, if any of you guys are new, Nicklin Up is and nickel stands for, nickel. Just a nickel is fucking money or whatever. But me and my dad live on Fifth Street in Canton. So a nickel's 5, Fifth Street at 5. So nickel, and then we call it we call the house the Dirt Nickel. So and then we have this cat, and she's always fucking shit up. So when me and my dad were on the phone, he just said she's always nickeling shit up. And then we started to get talking about our podcast, and I'm like, we should call it Nicklin It Up. And then that's kind of how we came up with it. It wasn't anything too amazing, but definitely took us time for us to figure out what to call it. At first, I really did want to call it the Pink Room Podcast at first, because I tried to do it before, and I only had 2 episodes. The first episode was just like kind of an introduction. It's about 15 minutes. That's really not a podcast like at all. A 15-minute little episode. And the next one was about 25 minutes. And I was talking about some of my movies that I've made, which aren't anything special. And then I quit doing it. And then I just decided to delete those 2 episodes and start from scratch. And so far, I'm a lot more impressed with how this is going. This is a lot better. The other shit was just fucking awful. But yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to drag this episode out to an hour. That's really like what I'm trying to do. I mean, whatever. I really wanted to just get to an hour because I really think that we need to strive for longer content, and hopefully other episodes we can get guests on. It can be more entertaining. Shit, because I really do want to get more guests on and make this a more entertaining show altogether. I want this to really be something special, and I hope you guys think it's special. I hope you guys like it, because if you guys don't like it, I'm just wasting my time doing this, and I'm hoping we can get a little bit more traction and we can get a little bit more fans in here, and we can get shit rolling a little bit. And yeah, just trying to get my name out there, and I'm trying to just get my name out there any by any means possible. I make movies, I make music, I make YouTube videos, I do a podcast. I'm just trying everything. And I really want you guys to message me on Instagram, littlepink_music, and just let me know. Like, please just let me know, what things do you like that I'm doing, what things do you not like that I'm doing. And whatever I get the most amount of praise for, that's what I'm gonna focus on a little bit more. Right now I'm getting more of my praise for my music. I have always been. But for a little bit I was getting praise for my YouTube with my old Little Pink Productions, because I was doing some crazy ass shit and people like that. But I ain't doing that anymore, so whatever. But I'm still doing Little Pink Productions, but just it's a hell of a lot different than it was. It's kind of toned down a little bit more mellow than I want it to be. I want it to be a lot more crazy and energetic and just fucking off the walls, but it's not. And I really am sorry about my voice cracks and shit. Hopefully it's not too noticeable when you guys are listening, but I'm like, my throat is killing me. I'm like super sick. I probably shouldn't have done this podcast tonight, but I've already made it this far, so I ain't just gonna delete and scrap it, because knowing me, I'm just gonna get pissed and probably break my computer if I do that. So I'm just gonna post it and you motherfuckers gotta deal with it. So sorry about that. Well, anyway, so I think I think I could tell one more story. So earlier in the episode, I was talking about this fat bitch I was dating, and I was also dating another girl at the time. Her name was Brianna, and this was when I was in second grade at Taft. Wait. Was it Taft? Shit. Oh no, it was Taft. It was Kansas City Schools. And yeah, so one of the times, like kind of closer to the end of the school year, they let all of the grades together. And so the fat bitch came up to me, was talking to me, doing whatever. And then the other bitch came up to me, and then they kind of just looked at each other, and she's like, "Why are you talking to my man?" or whatever. And that's literally what she just said, like, "Why are you talking to my man?" And I was like, at the time I thought it was normal, but now I look back at it, I'm like, we're in fucking second grade. What the fuck? I'm like talking about like my man, like what the fuck? And so like these bitches start like yelling at each other and stuff, and I'm like, I was just thinking in my head, like, why aren't you guys ganging up on me? I'm cheating on both y'all's asses, and y'all are mad at each other. You ain't mad at me. So the fat bitch ended up wandering off, and I saw the hot girl, or I guess hot at the time. If I said that now, it'd be kind of creepy. But I remember it being hot when I was little, because I really liked her, and she actually asked me out, and that was a shock. And I was like, damn. And I actually liked her for a little bit, because one time, I know this is gonna sound really weird, but like we had these smart boards or whatever. I'm pretty sure most schools got that. But we had this little smart board or whatever, and we'd always like sit like kind of like on the carpet in front of it. And my teacher would be doing whatever, and I was sitting behind her one time, and like this is how much like a sexual deviant I was even then. I was just like, you could see a little bit of her ass crack. I was looking down there, and I was just thinking, damn, baby, damn, home. Like I wasn't thinking like, damn, I want to get up in that, because at that time I still really didn't know about anal sex or anything, so I wasn't thinking about that. But I was just imagine looking down there, and I liked it for some reason. I don't know why I liked it. I just liked it, looking at that little second grader booty. But I was in second grade too, so it was okay. All right, it was okay. Ain't Little Pink ain't no pedo. But sorry. And so yeah, and then we were on the swings, just whatever. And then she asked if I could be her boyfriend. At first, I thought she just fuck with me, so I was like, nah, bitch. And then she kept like insisting, and I said, fine. And then we started dating or whatever. And we never hung outside of school really, but like we had this one little track in the back of the school, and our gym teacher was always out there, and you could like run across the thing and get like points or whatever, and you could get like these little tokens, or like not, there's like these little like kind of charms you put on like a necklace or whatever, and they're shaped like a foot, and yeah, so you get those for like if you walked around the track like 4 times, you would mark it on a sheet or whatever, and if you get like 5 or whatever, you get one of those little tokens. And so what we would do is she always had her back kind of like turned to the track. So once we got like a little bit behind her, it was usually just us because like no one else really seemed to want to do it. But we would kiss like a little bit back there, and then just go back. And then I think like on the last day of school, it's kind of cute, kind of sweet. Um, we had just name tags or whatever, and she gave me her name tag. I gave her mine. It was like this ones we had on a desk, and they were like laminated or whatever. So I gave her mine, and she gave me hers. And we actually like no one was noticing, and we started kissing in the back of the classroom, and like literally no one caught us or even noticed. It was like dumbass motherfuckers. And so I went home and just enjoyed my summer, I guess. And I moved to Hoover after, and I never saw her again. And I still had her name tag for like the longest time, from when I was in second grade all the way till when I was up until when I was in like sixth grade, and then I moved. I didn't move very far. I just moved like literally about a mile away in the same city, and yeah, so I just moved a little bit, and I threw it away when I was moving because I had to clean all the junk out of my old room, so I don't have it anymore. But I'm surprised I kept it for that long, and I still can't find her or nothing. And now that I'm like saying this, I know her full name, so I might go look her up on Facebook after this and go try to go have a love connection again. I don't know. She was special. I keep thinking about her a lot, and I would like to see her again. Even if we don't date, I don't care about that. I don't know what she looks like now, so I don't know if I still like her or not. But I'd still like to talk to her again and just see her. Because I haven't seen any of my friends from when I was little for like a long ass time. And I'd really like to see her. That would be something really special. And I think that would be a cool YouTube video too, like a vlog that vlog me seeing her for the first time in forever. And we could talk and, it'd be special. And you guys can let me know if that's a cheesy, stupid idea or if that's a sweet and good idea. I don't know. But I don't know why. I've never thought about looking her up on Facebook before. I've always thought about looking her up on Instagram, but there's so many fucking Briannas, so it's kind of hard to find her. But yeah, I think if I go on Facebook and I try to really, really look for her, I think I might be able to find her. Because when you search for people on Facebook, it show people that like more in your area. So I think I might be able to find her. So that might be something to look forward to. But anyway, that's going to have to do it for this episode of Nicklin It Up. This has been the 5th episode. And for the 6th episode, we're going to change it up a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, so I'll be looking forward to that. Please go subscribe to Little Pink Productions and follow what I'm going to be doing over there. Please follow me on Instagram, Little Pink Productions. And please follow the Nicklin It Up Instagram too. I just made that. So if you go over to like the information section of this channel, you'll see that. But yeah, so go follow that Instagram, go follow my Instagram, subscribe to Little Pink Productions on YouTube. please message me about the stuff that you like that I'm doing, and please message me about the stuff that you don't like. And this is gonna have to do it for this episode of Lil Pink. Oh, yeah, I was about to say this episode of Lil Pink Productions, man. I'm getting my channel switched up. That's gonna have to do it for this episode of Nicklin It Up. Go fuck yourself.